I took classes from traditional bonsai masters, but then I changed it to my own way. And some people don't like that. They think I'm being a renegade. Hi, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. So today I'll work on 3 hornbeams to show you that's what the trees will ship you. This is actually, had to admittedly, one of the better ones. So order early, we ship out the better ones first. And then these 2 are the 295, which I'll work on. And then I will work on the 795. You can see the difference between the size of the trunk, and that's why the price difference. And I'll just take them out of the growing pot and work on them to put them in a bonsai pot to show you the process of repotting, so that if you have to repot it, you know what to expect. And that's actually very simple. I'm also trying to promote that bonsai is a really simple art, not to be stressed out with all kinds of rules, just do what you like. Trees are very forgiving. So without further ado then, let me go get the pots and start working on them one at a time. Here is the first tree, which is a little bit sparse. You can see plenty of roots, fibrous roots, and this is the winter time, springtime. That's all you need, because that's when they can ship you bare root trees with no problem. So you study this. This basically is an upright tree. And so let me, in the process, describing the thought process in the designing of the tree. So, for example, these 2 are both at the top. This could be the apex. This could be the apex. So potentially these 2 can be the apex. Or if you like to be a little bit different, you can have a little bit more up coming out this way, more 3-dimensionality, but wiring this little branch up to make that the apex. So you can see it's starting off with this tree, no rhyme or reason, but if you do that, you can start to see a little bit more of a 3-dimensionality. So with that in mind then, let me work on that to show you how that works. So you can see, if I make this up, there will be no side branches aside from this one. This will be too far up. So I think I decided to make this the apex. So I turn out to have a fairly thin wire on my hand. So I can double up or triple up to make it thicker. So let me just double this up. In fact, I can do even simpler by making this more of a guide wire. Let me do the wiring. To show you, I do know how to do wiring. I just prefer not to do it because I think A, it's too time consuming. B is to worry about girding the tree by having to look after it. So the trees we ship you would not be clipped too well, but rather leave the branches for you to clip. So I will not clip off the normal amount that I normally do. So now what you will have is that this will grow up to be a branch filling this hole, and this will come out, fill this hole, and the side branch will be coming out, fill this hole. So what I'll do is I cut off this. I don't need this. And let's say if I cut off here, this will branch out this side. So the tree, when we ship you, it may look a little bare, but by the time when we ship it, these will actually be leafing out. So you will have a nice green leaf when you got it, and then you have to do some pruning to get it to shape. So this one, for example, I will actually wire to go this way, but I'll let you wire it to get practice. Or you can guide wire it or something so that the tree will look like this. Now, this is an interesting dilemma. These 2 are not at the same level, but it still looks like a bar branch. But if you pull it this way and you cut it off here, did it grow out this way, you can see it's not a bar branch anymore. You see how nice this tree is? It's a perfect formal upright. And if you tilt it a little bit, you got a little bit of tilt, and this is the upright that gives you the 3-dimensionality. See, so that will be the tree you get, and then you manipulate it until it's your tree in a way that you envision it. So now, let me put it in the pot very quickly. As usual, we advocate putting in this root pruning screen so that you don't have to you never, for this tree for sure, aggressive tree like you probably do need to repot it. But for this tree being birch with the root pruning screen, you probably never have to repot it again. And that saves you a lot of time and the risk of damaging your tree if you're not experienced. If you're experienced, you change the soil at the appropriate time of the season, you will not damage the tree. So what I would do is I'll cut off a little bit of the root to encourage the fibrous root to grow, and then put it in the pot. And you can see if I tilt it a little bit to give you some three-dimensionality. And the way you pot it also is to towards the back, so the front is you can make a moss to be like a lawn, and then 1/3, 2/3 to give it some asymmetry. So that is the simple rules that you derive, bonsai rules, derived from artistic principles, but you don't have to follow. Not every tree has to be following that natural way. And then we pot it back into this sandy loam mixed with the perlite and coconut coir or peat moss, and that is your bonsai. And what we do is that and then I'll cut off the screen, extra screen after it's done. What we do is that we pack it down very tight. Make sure there's no air bubble in the bottom, and then firm up the soil quite a bit. So it's not a very clean hobby, but you can always wash your hand later. So again, our mix is that alluvial sandy loam. That's a little bit extra benefit than the benefit in the sense of advantage than the sandy loam per se, which you can buy at landscaping stores. In a sense of landscaping supply. And now what we'll do before after this, I will actually sprinkle some moss spore on it so that it will grow moss fairly quickly. So bonsai is not a gentle hobby, as they're trying to portray in bonsai photos. It's very rough, dirty, but then you convey the serenity by careful manipulation and manicure to make it look good. So this would be my bonsai. And when you get it, you can trim it the way you like it. Like this one, you wire it this way, and you got a really beautiful starter bonsai that you'll be proud of to become your heirloom. So let me work on the next one. So that's 2 down. So I took this tree out of a growing pot, and now I'm trying to clean it up to put it in the bonsai pot and show you the process that we make it so that you know what to expect when you have to change soil, in a sense repotting. Although, as I said, if you the way we implement it with the root pruning screen, you never have to do that. Look at this tree. In fact, I'll probably do nothing. But like this branch is crossing into this, so I'll cut that off. But aside from that, it's a really kind of an upright tree. And then you can, after you get it, you can prune it however way you want as the branches are growing to become your tree. So again, with this tree, I do a minimal amount of pruning. The outline for all trees, almost the middle is taller and the side is lower. So I'll probably cut it off here. So this would be the tree you get. It looks a little bit bare, but by the time when you get it, it will be rooting out and it will be nice and green. But you can see it's an upright tree. You can see growing in nature. Again, the whole point about bonsai is to emulate nature rather than kind of being contrived, twisted, and all that quote unquote oriental bonsai. I mean, that's really silly. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for a tree to be crooked naturally. So I'm a renegade. I took classes from traditional bonsai masters, but then I changed it to my own way. And some people don't like that. They think I'm being a renegade, but I think that's how you make improvements. Otherwise, there will be no improvements or whatsoever. And in fact, only gets worse and worse because we're passed along incorrectly as time goes on, like a children's game. So this is the root pruning screen that we put into every one of our bonsai. You know, our slogan is going to be done right, you know. So again, I cut this off for the sake of encouraging fibrous roots. And then this one almost want to be slightly off center, but more center than usual because it's the nature of the tree and it's perfectly upright. And so it's done. So bonsai is not hard. You can make your own. You can get our starter bonsai, the pre-bonsai. They're implemented and come with our standard soil mix. So you don't have to go out and buy soil mix and put it into a bonsai pot and you have instant bonsai. A little skinny, but it will thicken. And then you can also grow in a growing pot to let it thicken faster, and you have a respectable bonsai quicker in no time at all. So again, we will sprinkle moss on it, and that will be your tree, the third. Not too bad. So that's the three, $2.95. You know, it's not cheap, but it's value price in the sense of you get what you pay for. We ship out you good stuff that will become your heirloom. In time, you will forget how much you pay for it. So here is my really favorite $7.95 tree. You can see this is coming up, that's the apex, and this is going out. And so this will be my tree, a little bit turned to the side. You can see how nice this tree is in time. It will thicken to about this size, and further ramification, it will be a masterpiece. But, you know, that's how they all start. So I'm just going to put that in and cut off the excess later to show you quickly how I pot a bonsai. So the tree wants to be like this. This time of the year, pruning off these little roots would not hurt the tree at all. There's ample time for the leafing out to adjust with the amount of moisture coming from the roots, so it will never die. It's always that balance that gives you the tree. You can see now this tree will be quite interesting looking. Okay. So today what I've done is to show you how I made the $2.95 hornbeam and the $7.95 hornbeam. You can see this one is considerably older than this one. And this one's a little bit thicker and has more ramification. These are thinner and less ramification. So order as soon as you can. We're going to ship out the better ones first. And but they will come back very quickly. In a year, we'll catch up. So again, today I summarized for you the benefits of Korean hornbeam. I think the main benefit is the leaves that will reduce in size. bright yellow, uniformly bright yellow in the fall. And it has significant ramifications so that it will become a very nice silhouette in the wintertime for display indoor. Because when a tree goes dormant, they don't need the light for photosynthesis. Therefore, you can keep them indoor for really a couple of 3 months until it starting to leaf out. Whereas other trees during the active growing season, you can really only keep them indoor several weeks at a time, even for tropical foliage tree claimed to be indoor bonsai. That's my personal belief. And aside from that, they will have a beautiful bark in time develop. And in fact, one of the most valuable bonsai in Japan is really Korean hornbeam, aside from black pine and all that. So with that in mind, then, I thank you very much for watching today's video. I basically make these to show you how these trees are made that will come to you when you order them. And so please order them soon before they run out. Quantities are limited. And I thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Well, thank you very much for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel and tell a friend. And most importantly, go to our website and sign up to become our VIP so that we can send you announcements of special considerations. Thank you very much. See you next week.